Welcome to Witness Wednesday here on the Walk Boldly with Jesus podcast. Each Wednesday, you'll hear a real testimony of how God is moving in someone's life. These stories remind us that God is not distant. He is active, personal, and still transforming lives today. As you listen, may your faith grow and your heart be encouraged to trust Him more. Let's get started. Today, I want to share with you about how the Lord can sometimes work in our lives. I went to a retreat in January a few years ago with some of my Big Life mentoring sisters. There were about 20 of us. We spent the time doing cool things like running in the ocean first thing in the morning, dressing up in 80s gear, and doing jazzercise at a local restaurant. I had not met most of these people before. Aside from the cool activities planned, we also spent some time talking about what was going on in our lives and where we wanted to be at the end of the year. This wasn't easy, as many of us had never met, and sharing the intimate details of our lives was scary. Although once people started sharing their stories, the strangest thing happened. We realized, even though we were all very different, we were also the same in a lot of ways. It was a great experience. A month or so after that retreat, I was talking to one of my new friends from the retreat. We were talking about our mentoring group and the various retreats our mentor Pamela Krim does. And a friend said she could see me doing something like that, mentoring and putting on retreats. The seed was planted. I was trying to figure out where to go with my business. I had thought about this type of thing before, but hearing someone else say she could see me doing it made it all seem a bit more real. I tend to be a slow mover. I get an idea, and I talk myself out of it for quite a while. Do you ever do this? You come up with an idea, and then you don't act on it because that inside voice tells you a million reasons why it won't work. One day, I was at Eucharistic Adoration when I felt the Holy Spirit telling me I needed to plan a retreat for that summer. So, of course, I obeyed and started planning right away, right? Wrong. I did what I always do when the Holy Spirit directs me. I ask a bunch of questions. Here are some of those questions. This summer, are you sure? This summer is just a few months away. Who will even come to this retreat? I felt as if the Holy Spirit said, you just book a place and time, and I will get the people there. Okay, I said, but what about the theme for the retreat? What do you want us to do when we get there? What will I talk about? Will I be the only speaker? Again, I felt the Holy Spirit say, once you book the place, I will give you more details. I really felt as if the Holy Spirit was wanting me to step out in faith. I started calling retreat centers to see if anyone had availability this close to summer. Most places did not, and the ones that did were too expensive. I wasn't sure who would attend, but I knew I wanted to make it affordable for everyone. The price was going to be at least $400 at the places I was finding. I was getting frustrated and wanted to give up. I felt the Holy Spirit prompt me to email my prayer group and see if any of them would want to go on a retreat and whether $400 was too expensive. I also asked if they even wanted a sleepover retreat. Maybe I should just do a daytime retreat or a one-day retreat. Many said yes to the retreat. Most said stay-over retreat, which I felt confirmed what I felt like I was getting from the Holy Spirit. A few said they would go if it were $400. However, many said that was too much. Again, confirming my thoughts. I decided to ask a few people if they knew of any retreat places. I am not sure how I happened upon the Holy Cross Retreat Center, and yet I'm so glad I did. The retreat center was affordable, and the person I talked to was so nice. They have many retreats there each year, and yet they are always the same type of retreat. This fall will be the first time they open their doors to outside groups for retreats. They do not have a minimum number of people I have to have. They are completely redoing all the rooms with new paint, new beds, and new mattresses. They already redid all the bathrooms, so by the time we get there, it will look like a whole new place. I was so excited it was all coming together. I was amazed at how the Holy Spirit led me to find the perfect place. Now that it was really happening, I had to start thinking about a theme, who to invite, and how much it would cost. Oh, that's another way that the Holy Spirit was guiding the details. The only weekend available, aside from Thanksgiving weekend, was October 6th to the 8th. This is the same weekend our prayer group was starting a Life in the Spirit seminar on Friday. However, since it was a long weekend, and many people have Monday off, I was able to do the retreat from Saturday to Monday instead of Friday to Sunday, and it all worked out perfectly. I knew the Holy Spirit would make sure those who needed to come to the retreat came to the retreat. My hope was that anyone who needed this retreat could come, even if they couldn't afford it. I had a place on the registration page for people to donate extra money towards scholarships, so that if someone can't pay, they could still come. I was able to have at least 2 people attend for free, and a few others I was able to pay for at least half the cost of. I was excited to watch it all unfold, and it was exciting to see what the Lord had planned. I truly feel as though He poured out His love over His children that weekend. I feel He filled them up with love and provided some inner healing. I think the connection with other people who were also on this faith journey was important as well. I had 11 people attend, and it was an amazing weekend. This is one way I have opened up my heart and let the Lord lead me into a new adventure. It has been an amazing journey so far. How is the Lord working in your life? I would love to hear about it. We have all seen God working in our lives, even if we didn't recognize it at the time. That's why sharing our stories matters. When we talk about what God has done, we help others see how He is moving in their lives too. If you feel called to share a testimony of how God has worked or is working in your life, I would love to hear from you. You can email me at Catherine, CATHERINE, at findingtruenorthcoaching.com, or click on the link in the show notes. It won't take much of your time, and your story may be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Consider praying about it and sharing your story. God is moving in all of our lives, and these testimonies help remind us that we are never walking alone. And remember, the same God who is working in their life is working in yours too. Keep walking boldly with Jesus.